for pandemic builders. Got the framing done today, finished that. I was working alone today. My workers, as you know, are still on strike. Motherfuckers. So, got the front door framed and took some deliveries of some lumber and got the foundation done the week before. And we're gonna continue framing, and I'm gonna, today I forgot my hammer, so I couldn't get your nails in. So really this is all just balanced, there are no nails in. And then tomorrow, if I can remember my hammer, I'll hammer the nails in, otherwise, you know. And that's the whole story. This is again Jim Lavine from Pandemic Builders. Thank you very much. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Well, we left you on a cliffhanger last time. You might recall that we framed the entire house with no nails. I forgot my hammer. Well, quite frankly, we were hoping it wouldn't be windy. The forecast did not call for wind, and indeed, there was no wind. The house of cards stood up. Forgot my large box of nails. I just had 5 left, but I hammered all 5 of them in, and I did it in all the key areas. And I think that we're gonna be okay. Tomorrow, we're going to start whipping out the sandpaper. A lot of people don't sand their lumber, but I sand it. That's it. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Have a good night. Clear off the white, hurts my eyes. I gotta get out of bed and get a hammer and a nail. Learn how to use Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Well, today's a big day on the construction site. As you can see, I packed a lot of nails. People underestimate how many nails you need to build a house. Now, one thing that some of you do-it-yourselfers might have noticed is that we have some structures on the 2nd floor called ladders. Okay, the 2 of them. That helps people get to the higher areas. You climb up the ladder, a lot of guys just reach. Sure, I'm tall, but that's what the ladder's doing there. And, well, I just want to say that you think Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder, is all about me. The show's not about me, it's about my crew. It's about the guys, and not just guys. Got some women in the crew too, okay? I just want to shout out to the guys, okay? Especially Richard, had a great day today. Shout out to Richard, peace out. Pandemic Builder. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Well, today you can see that we've made a lot of progress. We saw a big opening on the 2nd floor last time, which now has been framed out for each individual, because I made a decision spontaneously, and that was, why not a 3rd floor? We were going for 2, I decided to go for 3. In the last episode we did a shout out. I asked my producer to remind me who the shout out was to. I forgot his name already. Who was the shout out to on the last episode?
Richard?
I think it was Richard, and I just want to say that Richard really disappointed me. Richard refused to wear a mask today. When we had some potential buyers do a walkthrough. I asked them all to mask. Richard opted not to, and I opted to fire Richard. So, you know, that's what life is like. One day you get the shout out, the next day you get the boot, and that's what happened to Richard. Last thing, let me just say, shout out to Carlos for carrying extra masks. Hey, I'm signing off. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Hello, Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Well, you can see we made a lot of progress today. We went ahead and framed out the attic. Now, you might recall that yesterday I did a special shout out to Carlos, who really does so much for me in terms of, I mean, he's my creative partner. Carlos and I pour over the plans, the blueprints, but I let him go. I had to let Carlos go. We had some creative differences, and that's a shame. So isn't life just like that? One day's a shout out, the next day you get canned. But I'm wishing him the best in his creative endeavors. I'll tell you what happened. Carlos and I had agreed that we would build the third floor. You know, kids, they play on the third floor. They like that. They have sleepovers and stuff like that. But this is, especially for the younger kids in the audience, this is a lesson for everyone to learn. Sometimes the budget is not there. I said, Carlos, and he said, Jim. And then I said, Carlos again. I said, Carlos, we don't have it in the budget to do a full third floor. I was rate. Carlos would not go for that. He said, we agreed on a plan. That's what Carlos is like. You know, he's all about the creative spark. When, you know, I'm in charge here and I have to think about the bottom line. Hey, big shout out to Betty. Incidentally, big shout out to Betty. She's the only female member of my crew. Okay, she's doing a great job. And I want to thank her for that. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. I'm signing off. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Welcome to the next segment. Let me just start off by saying that we've lost one of our crew members. I had to let Betty go. There was an incident where let's just say she inappropriately groped Jack. You don't go grabbing Jack's butt. We all want to grab Jack's butt. But Betty did, and, you know, zero tolerance. So that's one thing. Hey, big shout out today to Chad, by the way, who said to me, he said, Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder, go for the Douglas fir. It's better than pine. And you know what I did? And now that I see the whole thing framed out, with the overhang, everything, I'm thinking, I'm so glad I got Chad on my team. Shout out goes to Chad. That's all I got for today. Pandemic Builder, Jim Lavine, signing off. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. As you can see, we've made a lot of progress in the last few days. We now have the home wrap on. We are dried in, which means that, well, technically dried in means that you've got the roof on and all the windows in. A topic I didn't want to have to come to, but I feel like I've been honest with the viewers all along, and I should be honest now. You might recall that Chad talked me to the Douglas fir as opposed to pine, and as you can see, it looks, not the plywood, but the beams, it looks great. But the Douglas fir was more expensive than I had anticipated. It put us over budget, and quite frankly, we couldn't really finish the job over budget in this way. So we had to cut some corners, and I'm not going to cut corners in the house because I'm a builder and I care about the house. That's what I'm all about. Okay. So actually, I fired Chad, and quite frankly, I hadn't done the math. And had I done the math, maybe we would have done it differently, but evidently Chad didn't do the math either. Okay? So, anyway, he'll move on. I know he's got some great stuff. He might want to do a build on his own one day. That'd be great. I would support that. Not financially, of course, but I would, you know, provide some moral support. And I'll move on right now. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. It is late. I'm moving out. It was a long day. You can see we got the shingles on the roof. Had the roofers in today. They did a good job. Otherwise, I'm just beat. I want to call it a night. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder.
Gonna make a lot of money, then I'm gonna quit this crazy scene. Oh, I wish I had a river.
We're here today at the site. We've had a lot of rain. You can probably see it's kind of wet. Had my cement guys out. We worked on the front entryway. Don't know if you can see it. It's laid down some flagstone. Pretty expensive stuff. But we've been thinking about the price point. And I mentioned the Douglas fir. Now we've got the flagstone. We're using some high-end materials. So we went ahead and priced it at 1.8. And you know what we're going to get for it? We're going to get 1.8. It's been pointed out to me that that my shout-outs often lead to people getting fired afterwards. I shout out for this person, the next time I have to fire them, and it's become a bit of a curse. The guys in the crew told me that they said, Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder, can you stop with the shout-outs? And so what I'm going to do is not have any shout-outs, okay? So that's it. No shout-outs. If I were to have a shout-out, if I were going to have one, okay, it would be a shout-out to Brooke, newest member of our crew. She's doing a great job, okay? She's strong as hell. She's smart as hell. And we all respect her a lot, but we're not doing shout-outs. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. You can see it's nighttime. Just got off. Just sent the crew home. We worked really hard today. As you can see, we got, if you can, see we finally got the windows in. Okay. We went for some real high-end Anderson windows. Did I want to put Marvin's in? Yeah, I wanted to put the Marvin's in, but we went with Anderson. I don't want to get, Brooke wanted Marvin. Remember Chad? I had to let Chad go. Chad and Brooke were actually a couple, which is not that big of a deal, except for the fact that today, okay, it's been a long day. I noticed that Brooke is now with Manfred. So that's just a little bit of just interest. It's not slowing her down. It's not slowing him down. I don't mind that. If it starts affecting the job, I care. So shout out to Manfred. And that's all I got. Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. Gotta go.
I must have left 1,000 times, but every day begins the same.
Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. I'm here for our final episode. As you can see, the house is built. I'm really happy with how the porch turned out. The front porch, flagstone. I think I'm going to walk over and show that to you. Here's our got a little walkway coming out here, the flagstone porch. Okay, we're still struggling with the front door, but the point is this, okay? I don't know if you can see the plumbing line down here. So I said before, this is our final segment, and you know, it's sad to leave a project, but we really did complete it. Now we're just gonna bring in a different crew. The finishing crew is gonna put up the drywall. Hey, building during a pandemic, it's hard to do, but the idea is to do something productive at a time like this. So I want to thank the crew. I want to thank my crew, okay, for filming this, working on it. To the COVID deniers, not so much a shout out. Just go away. There's no place for you, okay? There's no place for you in this at all. We're trying to just be honest about two things here. One is COVID, and the second thing we're trying to be honest about is building. Okay, so I think I did an honest job, and we should all just be, you know, honest. Two things that I respect: science and building. Anyway, Jim Lavine, Pandemic Builder. I gotta go. Signing off.
To be anything other than a prison guard, son. I don't need to be anything other than a specialist, son.